Hey everyone, welcome to the I Dare You podcast. This podcast, it's all about you and helping you reach the big goals that you have for your life. And what next steps do you want to take to get there? And I'm your host, Darrin Johnson. Welcome to episode 197. I cannot wait to get into this topic. I've been waiting for months to talk to you about this content. First things first, every week we have a lot of brand new listeners. People are listening and sharing. So welcome into the room. This is a great first episode for you. For those who have been here for a while, welcome back. For everyone, make sure you're subscribing and following the show. I don't want you to miss an episode. Every single one, unique and different, each one designed to help you live a better life. Not huge pivots, but small changes you can make consistently over time that will change how you approach your life. In episode 197, it delivers because I guarantee that when you implement the principles that we talk about here, it's going to change everything in your professional life, your personal life, and you're going to reach your goals faster and you're going to become a different person. I know you're thinking, I'm overselling this, but I'm really not. I do believe small tweaks, small changes yield the biggest results. So let me get into this and let me see what you think. Are you ready? Here's what I believe. You don't need another pep talk. You need a definite plan. And today we're going to stop being nice. How's that sound? We're going to start being kind, and we're going to use clear, courageous, assertive truth as a shortcut to the results that you actually want. Now, if you have been avoiding a conversation or shrinking a boundary or softening your standards, this episode is for you. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself right now. No one will know but you. When you had that conversation yesterday, you know the one where you knew something needed to be said. Did you say it? Or did you smooth it over? Did you soften it with weasel words and walk away feeling like a coward? I thought so. Me too. Here's what's happening. You think you're being kind, but you're not. You're being nice, and there's a massive difference. Today, I'm daring you to stop being nice and to start being kind, because one of them makes you a pushover and the other makes you an incredible leader. And in the next few minutes, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get a clear distinction between nice and kind. Also, why assertiveness plus the truth really compresses timelines and amplifies trust. And also, you're going to get a simple framework to start being kind and clear and assertive and courageous today. Now, I may need to do some convincing that nice is not the same as kind. They are very different. Here's a question worth considering. How do you think of yourself as a leader? More importantly, how do others describe you? You see, here's what I've learned over the decades of leading high-performing teams and coaching high-performing individuals. One of the most dangerous blind spots for leaders is the tendency to people please, to prioritize being nice over being effective. Does that resonate with you at all? I know I grew up in sales. I'm a sales guy, loud and proud. And when I was a sales rep, I know that I was nice. I was a people pleaser. That's part of why I was really, really good at sales. And then when I became a manager and started leading people, I learned and realized the hard way that people pleasing is not the ticket to being a great leader. It's only when I realized that shifting from being nice to being a kind leader, being kind is the shortcut, is the cheat code to building a high-performing team and becoming a true 1% leader. You see, when we focus too much on being liked, and it's easy to do, it's a tendency, we all want to be liked. It's one of the most essential human desires is to be liked and loved by others. So if that's really driving you, there's no shame or no judgment here. But when we focus too much on it, we inadvertently give away our power and our credibility. Here's what being nice means, being too nice. It means you're a pushover. You avoid conflict. You leave agreements really vague and very fuzzy. You shy away from difficult conversations because you're afraid of how others might react. Being kind, however, means something entirely different. It means having clear expectations and using clear language. It means choosing empathy over sympathy. It means you have the power to take the low road. You could take the low road, but you consciously choose the high road instead. You see, there's a real cost to you. Here's what nice leaders say through their actions. I'll give up my power to avoid having difficult, candid conversations. Here's what kind leaders say. I love you enough. I care enough about you to have the difficult, candid conversations. And I will do so with clarity and with empathy. And being known as kind is far more valuable than being known as nice, because kindness, it demonstrates that you care enough to be both candid and clear. If you don't care about somebody, if you don't love somebody enough, then absolutely be nice. Gloss over it. Don't tell them the truth. Don't help them improve. Don't have the difficult conversation. Now, this has to be said. There is a time to break the rules. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you are a kind leader, does that mean you're always acquiescing and giving in? Not at all. See, kind leaders, we always take the high road, don't we? There's that moment in every interaction when you could go low or you could go high, and you take the high road because you can. You're emotionally mature enough to do it. Not all leaders are. We know that. But let's be real. Sometimes the high road is not possible, and you need to unleash the beast. I mean, when it's time to drop the gloves and there's no need to be kind any longer, that's okay. But don't perceive being kind as just anything goes. As you'll learn in a few minutes, it's the exact opposite. The key to being kind is to protect your power and the power of others on your team. Now, here's what I see constantly over the decades. People pleasers. They give away their power without even realizing it. Remember, everyone, this truth. People only have as much power as you give them. I want you to think about all the relationships you have in your personal life and your professional life. What conversations, what relationships do you have with others in which you are gladly giving away your power to people, either colleagues or people below in the organization, because you're trying to be a people pleaser? I know you're trying to be nice, but you're also giving away your power, your credibility, your authority, your influence. And if you care about building rock-solid relationships with others, I mean, the kind of relationships that decades from now, they will remember you and everything you did for them, here's what it comes down to. The strongest relationships are built on matched expectations. I want you to think about all the leaders you've worked with and for, even now. Nice leaders, they always have these, what I call fuzzy agreements. What happens next? Well, they're nice, but no one has any idea what's going on. Kind leaders, they create what? Absolute clarity. Everyone knows the decision, the expectation, and the implications of both success and failure. They know the next steps. Okay, now I have got to know where you are. You need to know where you are. Let's run a quick diagnostic on yourself. I'm going to give you two lists, and I want you to notice which one sounds more like you. Here goes. Here's how you know if you are too nice. You seek comfort and approval. You avoid friction and conflict at all costs. You protect people's feelings in the short term. You withhold the full truth. You may not be lying, but you're not giving the entire picture. Here's how you can tell if you're actually kind. You seek growth and respect. You encourage healthy friction. You protect futures over feelings, and you tell the truth every time, but you do it with care. Do you notice the difference? Nice is all about you. It's about you avoiding discomfort. Kind is about them. It's about caring enough about them to tell the truth. It's about caring enough about them and your team and others that you will tell the truth. Now, here's a reframe that will change everything for you. Nice is people-pleasing. Kind is people growing. Nice, it preserves the moment for sure, but kind preserves the relationship for the long term. Nice is about you being liked, but kind is about both of you getting better in the process. When you're trying to be nice, you're protecting yourself from the awkwardness of honesty. But when you're kind, you're protecting someone's future by giving them what they actually need to hear. Now, if you are open to this feedback and you recognize that you are in the nice category, or maybe you're being kind, but you recognize a few themes. So now we ran a diagnostics. Here's a litmus test that you can use moving forward from this day forever. If you're editing the truth to prevent discomfort, know this in real time, assess it when you're talking to people today. If you're editing the truth to prevent discomfort, that's nice. If you're delivering the truth with dignity and empathy and a path forward, that's being kind. It's that simple. It is that simple, and it is that hard. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, Darrin, Got it. But how do I do this without sounding like a jerk? That's a great question, especially if you're nice, because here are two micro scripts that you can start using today. Here's script one, very, very simple. Because I respect you, I want to be honest about what I'm seeing. Can you imagine yourself saying that? I know you can. I don't care how nice you're being. You can be kind by doing this. Ready? Because I respect you, I want to be honest about what I'm seeing. You tell me that, now I know that you're in my corner. I'm not defensive at all. You have my best interest at heart. Because I respect you, I want to be honest about what I'm seeing. Here's script number two. Okay, here is what's working. Here's what isn't. And here's my specific ask. Can you hear yourself saying that to someone? I can. Let's role play it one more time. Hey, Jane, here's what's working. A, B, and C. Love that. Here's what isn't. A, B, and C. So moving forward, here's my specific ask, whatever that ask is. That's it. You now are leading with kindness. You lead with respect. You tell the truth. You give them a clear path forward. You see, kind leaders, they don't leave these fuzzy agreements. They create absolute clarity where everyone walks away knowing exactly what was decided and what happens next. For those in corporate America, think of the meetings you leave and you're wondering, okay, what just happened? Who's got the decision? By when is it due? When no one knows, one of the culprits is someone is being just nice. Someone needs to step up and be that type of leader that brings clarity and courage and assertiveness to the conversation. Now, as you're getting your head around the transition from going from too nice into being kind, I'm going to tell you something that's going to change how you work and the way you communicate and honestly, the way you live. It's about assertiveness. And it isn't about being aggressive. I'm not talking about being that type of leader. It's not about being a jerk. It's about respecting yourself and other people enough to be clear. And here's what nobody tells you. Clarity is the shortcut. When you are clear, people can actually deliver. When you're fuzzy or vague, you're setting everyone up to fail. Here's why assertiveness in your communication accelerates everything and helps you be a kind leader. Clarity, it just collapses any type of rework. When people know the target, they can hit it sooner. The boundaries that we create around our projects and around our teams, it focuses the energy. You stop leaking time to things you don't own or want, and the relationship gets stronger. So here's your assertiveness equation that I want you to write down. It's simple. Have a clear standard plus a direct ask plus a specific timeline plus ownership. Now, let me give you an example. Here's what it might sound like. For our Tuesday client call, I need the brief with two options by 3 p.m. Monday. If you hit blockers, ping me before noon so we can adjust. Okay, did you hear that? You see what happened? There's no guessing, no passive aggressive whenever you get a chance phrase, just respect and clarity. Now, here's a few traps that will kill your quest to be assertive and clear and to be that kind type of leader. Here's where most people screw it up. There's this cushion avalanche, I call it, where it's 90 seconds of fluff before you get into the point. Just cut it. Get right into it. The second is a vague ask. Things like soon or ASAP, or let's tighten it up, or let's take this offline. You replace that with dates and numbers and examples. No fuzzy agreements as you have one-on-one conversations or as you leave a meeting. Do a quick check before you end a conversation or before you end a meeting. Are you crystal clear on next steps? Dates, owners, who's got the ball? Now, I'm going to give you a reframe that you can feel in your body when you hear this. These are 3 rules that I want you to tattoo on your brain right now. This is how you will now operate. If it's not a yes, it's a no for now. If it's unclear, it's a no until it's clear. If it is not on the calendar, this is the most important one, gang. If it is not on the calendar, it isn't real. So a nice leader will just gloss over those 3 rules. But as a kind leader, not you. Starting today, everything changes. You follow those 3 rules today and every day moving forward, trust me, everything changes. Your leadership style changes, your team will notice, your boss will notice, and you are feeling more empowered because your leadership style changes. And here's the one-liner that will save you so much drama in life. Kind truth now is cheaper than resentful truth later. I mean, the conversation has to happen. The question is it going to happen now on your terms, or are you just going to let it sit and simmer and fester when resentment builds? Okay, everyone, now let's get tactical. You're in for a treat because I'm going to be giving you a 5-step framework that you can use starting today. This is the backbone for any conversation where you need to be kind, clear, and assertive. I will put this in the bio so you can see it as well. Feel free to take notes. But I call this the I Dare You Kindness Framework. And the acronym is KCA. Kindness, clarity, and assertiveness. Okay, here's step 1. Prepare the truth. In other words, prepare the evidence. Write the reality in one sentence and no hedging. What is the specific situation? Here's an example. The PowerPoint deck misses the client's key problem and is 10 minutes too long. Okay, that's pretty clear. That's evidence. Here's step 2. Choose the kind delivery and give the impact of it. Your tone on this is calm and steady, matter of fact. Here's what it could sound like. The 2 slides, they repeat the same point. This risks losing the room. Please cut slide 7 and condense slide 9 to one chart. Got it. You stated what the impact is. This risks losing the room. You said it. Good job. Here's step 3. You're going to make the assertive ask, the request. When it is what? The request. What is it, by when, and how we'll know it's done? Here's the example. Send the revised deck by 2 p.m. today so I can review it by 5. If needed, I'll jump on a 15-minute call at 1:30. Okay, that's good. That's specific. What is it you want? By when do you want it? And how we'll know it's done? A nice leader would say this. Yeah, send the revised deck, a little bit later today if you can get to it. And then I'm going to try to review it before I go home tonight. And if we have to get on a call, we'll take this offline and we'll see where it goes. That's a nice leader. A kind leader? Not at all. Roll up the sleeves. Send the revised deck by 2 p.m. today so I can review it by 5. If needed, I'll jump on a 15-minute call at 1:30. Now, the person you are talking to, or the team you're talking to, is going to thank you because now they know exactly the boundaries and the parameters for how to get things done. Step 4 is the boundary or that follow-through. Here's an example of what it could sound like. If this isn't ready by 2, as I just told you, I'll present the condensed version without the extra sections. There it is. Now I know the boundary. If it's not ready by 2, I'll present the condensed version without the extra sections. And step 5 is to reinforce that respect you have for them. Here's an example. I trust your judgment on the visuals. Thank you for moving so fast on this. So that's just one example of the kindness, clarity, assertive framework that you can use. Now, that's just one example of the I Dare You kindness framework that incorporates kindness and clarity and assertiveness. Here are some other what I call quick scripts that you could use today. Listen to this. Maybe take a look at the timestamp. You can re-listen to this. If you are doing any type of performance reviews or talking to anyone about performance, individually or your team, here's what it could sound like. To be clear, this isn't at the standard yet. Here's exactly what good looks like by Friday at 10 a.m. Can you hear it? What if you're in a negotiation? Here's what it could sound like. For me to say yes, I need X and Y by Z date. If that doesn't work, all good. No hard feelings. And you walk away. Now here's one about your personal boundary. I'm not available for this. Here's what I can do instead. Being very clear up front, but also giving options on that. So this I Dare You kindness framework, the KCA, kindness, clarity, assertiveness framework, this process is something that will change everything for you if you embrace it and you practice it. So it just becomes second nature for you. You make this pivot. You become a kind leader by using this framework. And I'm just excited for you because it is a game changer in how you operate. And as you leave work, as you wrap up the week and wrap up the month, you're going to notice a difference, not only in your business results, but also how you feel. Business results, but also how you feel. Now, I want to speak to those of you who have right now sweaty palms or a feeling in your gut thinking, I cannot do this. I am way too nice, but to make that pivot to become a kind leader, how do I do it? Number one, I'm reminding you that you can. It just takes practice. Use this breathing technique before you actually have that moment where you speak. In 4 seconds, hold 4 seconds, out 6 seconds. And then say your one sentence truth the evidence first. State it out loud. That's it. You've got this. Remember, don't do the cushion avalanche, 90 seconds of fluff before you get to the point. Cut all of that out. Do a quick breathing exercise, and then just say it. Give the evidence. State the impact. Make your request and give a specific timeline with a boundary. And you do that every day until it becomes just normal. And you're flexing that muscle. You're learning that new skill. You're training your brain. And in 30 days, maybe less, you're a completely different leader. Okay, you now have the I Dare You Kindness Framework, KCA, kind, clear, assertive. You have everything you need now to transition into becoming a kind leader. And I promise you, when you follow this framework, it's going to become muscle memory. But now, here's a bonus for you. I want to talk about something real that a lot of you are dealing with right now, but maybe you don't have the words for yet. You have narcissists in your life. Maybe it's a colleague or someone you report into. They have power over you. Maybe it's a relationship, personal relationship that you're in right now. Here's what you need to know. Narcissists, they absolutely love nice people. In fact, they seek nice people out. They take advantage of them. They manipulate them, and they do not respect them. Why? Because nice people are easy to manipulate. I want you to think about this. When you're nice, you avoid conflict. You try to keep the peace. You give people the benefit of the doubt all the time, over and over and over again. And narcissists, they see that as an invitation. Here's what happens in that dynamic. They gaslight you. You express frustration, and suddenly you hear, wow, I had no idea you were that sensitive. Have you heard that before? They leverage your niceness to make you feel awful about yourself, to destroy your confidence, to second guess every decision you make. Then they love bomb you after the fact. Big apologies, grand gestures, promises to change. And because you're nice, what do? You believe it. And you try to repair the relationship. And again, it's an abusive relationship. It is, and you deserve better. And here's the truth. You will never change a narcissist. You will never change them. So stop trying. And remember, what you are seeing in them, that is their true self. It's not the exception. I see it all the time when a narcissist behaves badly and people think that's the exception. I'm here to tell you it's the exact opposite. That's who they are. They're not just having a bad day. That's who they are as a person. Okay, so now what do you do? What can you do? You have a narcissist in your life. You clearly need to learn how to deal with and live with or work with a narcissist. You need to stop being nice and start being kind. Narcissists, they hate people who are kind. If they were Superman, kindness is their kryptonite. If they are a vampire, it's the crucifix. It absolutely shuts them down. So how do you do it as a kind leader? You use the same framework we've been talking about. Give evidence, name exactly what happened. Then talk about the implication and state the impact clearly. Then make the ask. Be specific about what needs to change. And then give a boundary. Tell them what happens if it doesn't. When you set boundaries, you document interactions. When you stay assertive and clear, you are now on offense, and it disarms a narcissist. So here's how it might sound. Hey, Jim, when you said X, here's the impact it had on me and on the room and on our team. I'm not sure if you're aware of the negative impact that kind of behavior has on your influence. And because I care about you as a leader, as a person, I want you to be successful. I owe you this feedback. Now, that's it. Do you see what just happened? You stayed calm. You stayed factual. You didn't get emotional or defensive. And that is what disarms a narcissist. Now, it reminds me, I have a real life example that I just recently went through. I work with a narcissist, and there's been a pattern of behavior in which I have been too nice. And so here's what I did. And this person really lit me up and a whole lot of other people in this meeting in front of others. And so I stepped into it. I said, okay, it's time to use this very same framework. Kind, clear, assertive. Here goes. Here's what I said. Hey, Jim, when you said X, I owe you this feedback because when you said that, I don't know if you know the impact that it had on me and on others. Here's what people were thinking. And when that happened, your influence as a leader, it went from 10 feet tall to about an inch. It really hurts you as a leader. And because I want you to be successful, I owe you this feedback. I know it's tempting to do that in a meeting in front of others, but here's the ask that I have. When you have that feedback, bring me or others into a room and just make it a private meeting. Because when you do, you're going to get our attention, but also you'll protect your influence as the leader of this team. And when I used that feedback, you guys, just so you know, I want you to know the impact. This particular leader got emotional. In that meeting, there were tears welling up in her eyes. And I hadn't expected that. It didn't make me feel good, but it did make me feel good that I delivered the feedback that she needed to hear. I often wonder, are they aware of what they're doing, or is it just these outbursts and it's just this technique that they have? But I'm living proof that you can be a kind leader, especially if you're working with a narcissist. And I'll tell you, you may never be the best of friends, because a narcissist, again, they do not like kind people. It's a huge threat to them, which is all the more reason for you to be kind. So if you've been told your entire professional life or life that you're too nice, it's time to show them the side of you that's strong, clear, unshakable, confident, caring. One of my favorite quotes is this: it's better to be a wolf they respect than a donkey they ride. You got to stop being the donkey, and it's time to be the wolf that they respect. And you've got this. Okay, now here's your I Dare You challenge. I want you to replace nice with kind in at least one conversation that you've been avoiding. Write your one-sentence truth and deliver the KCA, kind, clear, assertive, giving evidence, the impact, the request or the ask, and the timeline and a boundary, and just do it. Here's a microscript. Again, because I respect you, I want to be honest about what I'm seeing. Give the evidence. When this happens, this risks whatever the impact is. So here's my ask. Make the ask. By what timeline? Give the timeline. And if it's not met, set the boundary. And here's how you know if you're going to be successful. You stated the full truth without hedging. The other person can repeat back the decision, the expectation, and what happens next. And you can actually document that agreement in one sentence. If you can do that, you have passed the I Dare You challenge with flying colors. And by all means, have fun with this. Practice this until you become a master. You become world-class at having these kind conversations with others. So have that conversation you've been avoiding. Say the thing you've been softening and be kind instead of nice. Because the people in your life, they don't need you to protect their feelings. They need you to protect their future. So I'm daring you. Now, go do it. So now, if you enjoyed this episode, if you found a lot of value, who are you going to share this episode with? Whoever that is, don't wait. Share this with them. And remember, so many of you have already received your 3 free custom-designed effortless PDFs. When whatever your goal is, you can get into your effortless state and get into effortless action. And to get more done, these PDFs, they're game-changing, and they will help you implement some of the principles we just talked about here on this episode. How do you get them? Simple. They're free. You go to idareyoupod.com, and they're waiting for you, so check that out. They won't be there for much longer. And also, because you're an I Dare You podcast listener, come join us on Instagram at idareyoupod. I know you're on social, so check us out. If you're not, you're missing out. Great content, video content of all of our interviews, and I'll see you there. Great way to interact with me as well. I respond back to all my DMs. Also, check us out on YouTube channel at I Dare You Pod. You can watch these interviews as well. Thanks for listening. Get ready for episode 198 next week. Between now and then, stop being nice. It's okay. I'm giving you permission. Throw your shoulders back and be kind, clear, assertive. You're going to get more done. You'll feel better. I'm excited for you. Your life will never be the same when you become more kind. Go get them. Next week, we do it again on the I Dare You podcast. I'll meet you there.